A new law in 2021 overhauling rules for timeout and physical restraints in schools.
We begin to talk about what we could do to address this. Now,
The push for change came after repeated testimony and media coverage of students being locked in isolation rooms for hours and pinned face down on the floor by staff.
right, this was not just something that was happening in the suburbs of Chicago, but I heard about it from some folks that lived in other areas of the state as well.
Since the new law went into effect, ISB has worked on extensive new policy and training for educators.
That legislation was key in pushing the needle away from restraints being used as a normal event in a classroom.
ISB has already seen a dramatic reduction in the number of timeouts and restraints. The agency is now requiring districts to continue to take action to reduce the total number of instances of a timeout or a restraint used each school year.
Our staff do work with school districts to try to look at their reduction plans, provide technical assistance, and otherwise provide those supports as they seek to eliminate those behaviors that lead to those instances.
It was a step in the right direction to first call out what was happening and now to see what we can do to change that.
Representative Cam Buckner was one of the original sponsors of the law. He says while there has been positive change, the state needs to be able to adapt to new challenges, like notifying ISB staff when law enforcement and DCFS find abuse has occurred in schools. How do we have better collaboration between those agencies? And is that lawmakers' role, or is that maybe the governor's role? Like, I guess, whose job is it to kind of improve that communication?
Yeah, I think the legislature plays a big role in that, in making sure that we are not siloed, that the right hand knows what the left hand is doing. There's some connectivity. Both ISB and DCFS are huge agencies within the state government apparatus. And so getting them to speak to each other, to speak the same language and to be on the same page, it's a heavy lift no matter, what the circumstance is, but I think we can do it.
He asks parents to continue sharing their stories in the hope of spurring more change in Illinois schools.
I would just let them know that we're not done yet. Once again, HB 219 was not a panacea. It was not the silver bullet. It was a salvo, initial salvo for us to begin to have these conversations and to, one, acknowledge what was going on. You can't fix something if you don't acknowledge it. And I think we did that in this bill, which is now law. And now we've got more to do in that space.
For WAND Investigates, I'm Melissa Patrick.